Yes, next we have the Arctic fox. That's Alopex lagopus. There she is, cuddly little lass. Unless that is you actually try to cuddle her when she might basically sort of, bite your hand off. So I suppose she's not cuddly at all, really. No, the thing that's interesting, actually, really interesting about Alopex lagopus is its comparison to the more common European fox. So let's have a look at her. There we... no, sorry, that's... I do apologise. That's actually Miss Frobisher. She's a colleague of mine on the Hayes whatchamacallit. And there we go. Vulpes vulpes. Now, as we can see, these two foxes have adapted to live in very different climates. And the former one here is, believe me, very furry and has a good supply of body fat. Now, what also helps her to survive in a very frigid environment is her short muzzle and very thick ears. I'm so sorry. I do apologise. Yes. Marjorie, I do hope you're not with us tonight. Sorry.
Fascinating talk, Dr. Calgary. Thank you.
I do hope so. Thank you. Thank you.
It was indeed, Doctor. Most illuminating.
Very, very kind. Thank you. I'm very, very wet. Oh, very sorry. Is Mr. Argyle, Mr. Leo Argyle, in the house?
Yeah?
My name is Arthur Calgary, and I'm here to tell you.
Here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You're a very kind and thoughtful lady. Yes. I'm here to tell you that there is no possible way that your son, Jacko, committed that murder, sir. He's innocent. And I can prove it. Yes, I'm a scientist at Cambridge University, but for the last 2 years, I've been in the Arctic.
You've been on the Hayes-Bentley expedition?
Back a month, yes. But we left, you see, on the 17th of October, 2 years ago, but the day before, the 16th, I was here. I was here in Red Key, saying goodbye to Nanny, who's retired to a home in the area. Actually, Nanny's sister's been very ill recently with psoriasis, and...
We don't need to hear about Nanny's sister.
No.
So you were in the area the night my wife was murdered?
Which was at about 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yes.
Well, at that time, I was driving between Red Key and Drymouth.
In a dark blue Morris Minor.
That's right. And between 10:02 and 15:15, I gave a ride to a hitchhiker.
No, most eel, most anguilla forms, prefer to dwell in shallow waters and or hide at the bottom layer of the ocean in tiny holes.
Have you got the time? My God. You're the alibi.
I'm the whatchamacallit, yeah. Who they never found. And they never found me, because by the time they started looking, I was, halfway around the world looking at lemmings.
Dr. Calgary's with you now?
I told him to wait till we came up with him in the morning.
Well, is he who he says he is, Inspector?
I don't think he's a scientist. He doesn't seem a very clever man.
I'm checking his story now, and all his dates seem to fit. Looks like your brother was telling the truth all along about his alibi.
When can you get here, Inspector?
The morning. We won't get over the crossing in this weather. Look, Dr. Calgary thinks he's doing a good thing, rushing to tell your family this. But while he knows an unnatural amount about eels and such like, I don't think he knows anything about people. How are they all taking the news?
I thought you'd be pleased to know that Jacko Argyle isn't a murderer.
We are.
So, it's, jump for joy.
You are an insensitive man, Dr. Calgary.
Kirsten.
No, what did he think he was doing? When you looked through the window, didn't you see a happy family?
I did. And I thought that what I had to say would make you happier.
That our brother was executed for a murder he didn't commit.
Why couldn't you have just left us all alone?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Calgary. Come on.
Daddy.
Well, yeah, what's the quote? Nothing is ever, I was useless at the literature. Nothing is settled.
Nothing is ever settled until it is settled right. Kipling.
Yes, quite so, yes.
The police have requested that you leave now.
Oh, in this weather?
They didn't mention the weather. They just asked you to go.
Right. It's true, though, isn't it? Do you think what Kipling said? I think it's true. Sorry. It's you. Yes, crossing seemed rather difficult in this weather. And
Truth is, it's a dangerous crossing.
indeed. Indeed, yes. Tell me, shouldn't you be inside and in the warm?
Do you want another truth, Dr. Scientist? Mother and Jacko dying was the best thing that happened to this family. They were the ones who brought unhappiness here. I loved my brother, but without him, we'd become a happy family. Until you arrived. We all know it wasn't a burglary, and if Jacko didn't kill her, which one of us must be guilty?
Esther? There, see you in here.
Come on, sweetheart, let's get you inside.
But it's not the guilty that matter, is it, Dr. Scientist? It's the innocent. The innocent who will suffer now.
If you can't get across, you might as well come in too. The first thing the police will do is try to establish a motive.
Sorry, where am I sleeping?
In the study.
Well, the motive's easy. Who gained most from Mother's death? Who now lives in her bedroom?
Gwenda.
Exactly. Who's going to share a bed with her husband?
Are you heading back to London, Dr. Calgary?
Well, I think yes. Yes, I should. But I think also I should stay and put right this upset that I caused by blundering in last night. That young girl, Hester, said yesterday that it would be the innocent who would suffer now that the case has been reopened.
How perceptive of her.
Yes, that's what I thought. Very perceptive, but what on earth did she mean?
I wasn't there at the time.
It has to be Philip Durrant. He's the killer. Rachel had confronted him with the evidence, thank you, from confidentiality croaker. And then Philip overheard Jacko threaten to kill her. When the house was quiet, took his chance to bang her on the head. We should go back, Sunny Point now, and make a citizen's arrest.
Bang the fellow up. Why are we going to see a film?
Miss Marple said we had to find Maureen.
Who's Maureen?
Jacko's wife.
Right, yes, of course.
Jacko did it, Miss Bourne. No doubt. He was found with the evidence.
The money from the desk.
That's right. And he had a nasty side. I was pleased to be rid of him, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Mum said he was just a charmer, you know. Women had a thing for him, especially older women. He could play them like a piano.
How do you mean?
Well, he'd flatter them, sir. Get them to fall in love with him. And then he'd sting them for money he needed for some scam or other. He worked for this car salesman and got into trouble when a lot of money went missing. The salesman's wife was so besotted with him that she ended up raiding her own savings so that he could give the money back to the husband.
Could he always get money out of his mother?
No. He had to be desperate to go to her. But he was desperate that night, Miss Vaughan. He was very scared. The bookie was really a gangster, and he was going to kill him. I think Jacko owed much more money than he was letting on.
Mrs. Lindsay. Mrs. Lindsay.
Where's your car, love? Can't go filling you up with petrol.
My car.
It was a joke.
Right. Yes, I understand it. Mrs. Lindsay, I wondered if I could have a rather delicate word with you.
Have you read
Jacko, what a boy. He was the kind of bloke who could get under your skin, you know? Naughty, dangerous. You knew you shouldn't, but... he was like a drug. He can make you feel 22 again. You ever had a girl like that, Professor?
Well, there was a young lady at church once, but we never really spoke.
What was her name?
I believe you gave Jacko Argyle some money.
I knew what he was up to. He pinched a wad off my husband and needed to pay him back.
And you knew about this, and yet you went along with it.
I didn't want him to go away. Ever.
Good afternoon, sir.
May I have my key, please?
Certainly.
Thank you. Are there any messages for me?
Yes, sir.
Miss Argyle? Miss Argyle? Miss Argyle? Yeah. Why don't we go back to the house?
I know what I wanted to ask you, Dr. Scientist. You know about animals and environments, don't you? You take an animal out of its environment and it suffers, doesn't it? It dies inside. Zoos try and reinvent it, but...
Mr. Argyle!
But they die inside.
Mr. Argyle, can you help us?
Even animals need love, Dr. Scientist.
If we just step away from the water, I'll be more than willing to give you a seminar on the subject. Back at the house, probably rustle up a slideshow.
Money is the cause of this family's misery. All of us were from poor backgrounds.
Yes. This is lovely. If you just step away.
Money has not made us happy.
It never does.
Animals don't have money, do they?
Not a penny.
Why is that?
Why have human beings turned unhappiness into coins that you can actually touch? Where's Bobby? Bobby!
No!
Bobby!
Kyle!
Bobby!
No!
Bobby!
Yes. And I'm travelling again to Galapagos. There's a new expedition.
Do you ever go home, Dr. Calgary?
Rarely. Where's home for you, Miss Marple?
Home is St. Mary Mead.
Ah,